of grassy green hilltops. These are beautiful. Insect world, blades of grass become trees, trees become giants. Worlds in their own right, the underbrush becomes a forest, and a forest becomes a universe. These are beautiful. Forgotten worlds within it. Atlantis and Lemuria, the coral reefs, and oh my God, it's everything a dreamed of. These are beautiful.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Welcome, everybody. Do you hear me okay?
We
Good?
hear you, Rosy.
Okay, very good. Welcome to our Earth Day celebration. We are so overjoyed to be coming together from all over the world to honor and celebrate our shared and beloved home. So for those of you who've been hanging out in the room for the past 5 or so minutes or on YouTube, we want you to know that that video you were just watching, which has a really beautiful end, features the work of all of the DreamArc's amazing visual artist contributors. And the song called Beautiful World, so perfect for Earth Day, was created by one of the DreamArcs musical contributors, Michael Miracle, and his co-creator, Jake Perrine. And I worked on that video maybe 3 years ago now, and I've probably watched it 1,000 times, and it still moves me to tears. I was just like singing in the background. And Lena, I'm thinking, Lena is our devoted tech host for the celebration and has been so incredibly helpful leading up to it. Feel free to pop a link in the comments section or chat to the video for anybody who might want to see it all the way to the end or share it with their friends and community. So I thought I would share a few words with you before we get started. But before I do that, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Lena and to Matthew Ashdown, our co-host, event coordinator, and multi-talented DreamArc Squire. And I want to give a very special advanced thank you to the wonderful group of 6 creative, magical beings that you're all about to meet, who will be sharing their very unique Earth Day gifts with all of us during this gathering, some of which will be a total surprise to us. So we're all in for a big treat. And of course, a big thank you to each and every one of you who's tuning in right now or joining us from the future, which is also right now. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And let me just for a moment come back to the song and the whole concept of beautiful worlds. We chose to share that song and video with you today, not just because I'm always wanting it to get a chance to share it, because I love it so much, but because it is especially during times like the one we're in right now, that it can be so easy to forget or overlook or downplay the importance of celebrating the abundance of beauty that exists on our planet and within the human heart. You know, we can get so completely lost. I know I can, in all of the seeming ugliness and all that's going wrong on the planet. You know, all we need to do is just look out our windows or tune into some kind of a screen, and almost immediately we're flooded by images and stories of environmental devastation and endless amounts of human suffering. And lately, the constant threat of a third world war or some kind of artificial intelligence-driven totalitarian apocalypse, and all of it is supposedly right around the corner. And it's not just that, you know, so many of us aren't just watching natural and human-made traumas playing out and proliferating all around us in the news. Some of us are actually in the middle of them, right? Some of you here, right in this moment, may actually either be in, or maybe you just escaped from a war zone, or maybe you're recovering from some sort of environmental disaster, or you're healing from a deep ancestral wound that's been reactivated by either a personal event or loss or some kind of collective tragedy, of which there are many to choose from. And I also bet that given the theme of this celebration, that the majority of you who decided to join us have done so because you have such a deep love for this world and for the living beings inside of it. And you carry a genuine wish to either solve the problems that you see in this world of the present, or to participate in building a much more compassionate, coherent, flourishing, and harmonious world of the future. But even if all that's true about you, I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't times when you feel crushed by the pain, or full of fear, or exhausted from running around frantically trying to just stop the planetary bleeding in whichever way you feel you have some capacity to do. Or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by the suffering that you see and feel, or helpless or numb, or full of shame and guilt on behalf of your species, your people, your government, your country. I know I can relate to that one. Or like you just want to hide under the covers with a puppy and maybe come out in about 20 years and see how it all turns out. Or maybe sit in some lotus position and just drift off into some perfected, transcendent, blissful state, far, far away from this planet. And whether or not you relate to any of what I just shared, during these next, I guess, 90 minutes or so, we really would like to invite all of us, ourselves included, gently back into our bodies, to drop in and down onto the earth, feel the ground beneath our feet, and feel the reality that we're now all together on this beautiful planet full of beautiful worlds. And this is your time and our time to remember who we are, why we're here, and what absolute beauty we are capable of co-creating, even in times like the one that we're in, especially when the collective shadow is as visible and palpable as it's ever been. And when old, outdated, and oppressive structures around us, inside of us, are as ready as ever to fall apart, to make way for the new. So as we celebrate the beauty of what is and call forth the beauty of what is destined to be, as we acknowledge that what we focus on together grows, let's also remember to hold with compassion whichever wounds or sorrows or feelings of powerlessness, loss, or fear that may be stirring in our hearts in this moment, and to demonstrate a willingness through our breath, our presence, and relaxing our shoulders to let go of what no longer serves and to rise up in honor of the mother of all gardens, Gaia, as the uniquely sensitive, strong, tender, and creative gardeners that we are. So before I hand the baton over to Richard, who's going to be initiating and blessing our journey together, I'd like to share a quote that I recently received in an email from Grandmother Flor de Mayo, who is one of the DreamArc's cherished guest wisdom keepers and one of the Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, a cosmic germinator, and founder of The Path, which is an organization that's dedicated to the conservation and preservation of heirloom and heritage seeds. And Lena, if you just put Grandmother Flor de Mayo's picture up, if you haven't already done that, that would be awesome. And this was part of her message. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Let us honor this trust with gentle hands and loving hearts, ensuring every day is Earth Day, so future generations may inherit a world abundant and whole. So thank you to Grandmother Flor de Mayo, and Lena, if you want to put a link to her featured Wisdom Keeper page in the chat or comment section, that would be wonderful. And Richard, who is tuning in from mythical Devon, England, would you like to escort us into the heart of Gaia and initiate our journey together?
Yes, thank you, Rosie. Thank you for your deep kind of words woven into the Earth's path and dharma, her trauma, her bliss, and us as all of her children, and her children's children to yet to come, and all our ancestors. It's a lovely thing to do, to have an Earth Day, and I don't want to spend ages talking. So what I'm going to do is just a blessing that I'm going to read, that I've read a couple of times before, and I really love reading it, and I think it feels like the right one for now. It's called The Blessing of the Mystic Biome, and it's really built on 3 breaths. So the whole thing is really dedicated to 3 sacred breaths. I'm not going to be able to do it all in 3 breaths, but I want you to just kind of bear that in mind as you're listening to the words, and just come deep inside yourself. You might want to close your eyes just as I read these words to kick us off. The Blessing of the Mystic Biome. With our first breath, we bless this space, and we bless the warm-blooded animal of the body electric, filling this space with the matchless majesty of presence. We bless the cool, clean earth beneath our feet, and the soft footfalls of our ancestors, their strengths and trials, and the long, dusty lineage of their laughter and tears. We bless mother and father, boy and girl. We bless the honey of voice, the hearth of food, and we honor the songs of our elders, their roots rising to the stars, rich with the awe and the wisdom of the land. With our second breath, we bless the elements, the wuthering of the wind in the lonely valley, the lovely lichens and soft musky mosses, and the sacred earth fire burning magenta in these hollow hills of ebony and gold. We bless the waters in their beings within and without, and the silent glint of sunlight on the shoals. We bless the distant, cloud-capped mountain and the sentinel of stone, the rune script of landscape written in river and rain. With our third breath, we bless the blossoming of Gaia, the sun-seasoned earth ripened with barley days, the emerald nights of moon-winged moths, and the listless sighing of the seas and the skies, echoing the melancholy of loss. We bless the hearts of birds and their liquid song, and the crest of creation, our eternal dawn. We bless the miracle of animal, and all who swim and sing and scurry and scuffle and bite. One day, all will be yours once again. We bless the provenance of earth, the dreams of trees, the endless weave of herb, flower, fruit, and fungi freely given, the soul food of Gaia. With these three breaths, we bless these three: ancestor, animal, and earth, a mystic biome. May our hearts beat together in sacred rhythm. May we each be nourishment for the other. May our lives be an eternal offering in love as we lie entwined and enshrined in perfect devotion to the green law, where the fruits of Gaia are woven into the field of praise. May all beings in this body be blessed. May all beings in this space be blessed. May all beings in this mystic biome be blessed. And here in my work with the Gene Keys and the Gene Keys community and Rosy and the Dream Arc and all these amazing people that we are connected to and our friends, and some of whom you're going to hear from in a moment. We are very playful and we like to contemplate the creatures of the earth. And one of the creatures we've been contemplating is the kingfisher. And I saw a kingfisher just yesterday, actually, down at my local river. And whenever you see a kingfisher, it's a special moment. In the land where I live, kingfishers are bright blue, iridescent blue. And when you see one, there's like an explosion of blue and gold, and they're very fast, make this beautiful piping sound. And so we've been contemplating the kingfisher, and the kingfisher kind of, its mythology is, in Celtic lore anyway, is very connected to the myth of the Fisher King. And the Fisher King is the wounded king. This is from like Arthurian myth, or older than Arthurian myth, actually, old Celtic legends. It's an old archetype, the wounded king. And it's like the wounded patriarchy, or and how that wound that we all carry, that Rosie talked so eloquently of earlier, extends from us into the wasteland, into the earth, Gaia, and how we're actually here because of healing. We're here to heal our wounds, and we're here to heal Gaia's wounds. And by healing our own wounds, that's how we heal Gaia's wounds. And so the kingfisher who fishes in the river of dreams, or the river of life, is constantly bringing us these morsels, these insights, these quintessences, these pearls from the other realm, to remind us, of hope, the hope that lies embedded in every crystal in the earth, in every flower, in every fruit that she keeps delivering us. And so the question that comes from the gathering of those fish that the fisher king or the kingfisher delivers from the wound of the earth, the question is, how can I be of the greatest service to the whole? And if you're also involved in Gene Keys with the Pearl at the moment, which is a program we're running, that's the question of the Pearl. That is the question for each of us, regardless if you know any of this stuff or you're involved, or you might be a first time to this stuff. That's a wonderful question to contemplate. How can I be of the greatest service to the whole? And the kingfisher asks that question. And it's like, how can I serve Gaia in my little corner of the world? What will my intuition guide me to do and to offer back to the earth? And I offer that to you, following the blessing of the biome, is like, what little thing could you do in the next week in gratitude to our mother, the earth? Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. And yeah, I'll pass you over to Matthew. Amazing, beautiful man over in Costa Rica.
Yes, welcome, Matthew. So wonderful to have you here, and thank you, Kim. Thank you, Richard, for bringing us into our Earth Day cauldron and blessing the mystic biome for all of us. Okay, Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I echo that. Thank you so much, Richard. It's such a beautiful prayer, the mystic biome, blessing of the mystic biome. And I'm sitting here in, as Richard said, a mystic biome of a difference. I've been here in Costa Rica. It's my last day in Costa Rica. So it's just such a blessing to be able to join on my last day here in Costa Rica. The monkeys just went crazy when we started this. I'm surrounded by howler monkeys, and they have been howling. I don't know if you'll hear them. And the cicadas and their unique notes. And today I'm just looking forward to all the unique notes that we have, this orchestra of beautiful beings that are coming here to celebrate Earth Day. And, for me, I was inspired to bring a little attention to something Rosy alluded to and Richard both in their shares, is the theme of gratitude. And one of the creatures that is outside here, at the end of the road here, the place where I'm staying, is the cow. And in the dream arc, which is very deeply related to the work of the Gene Keys, the dream arc, the cow, it brings a message of gratitude. So it's perfect that I've got this guardian at the gates. And last night there was about 30 of them just staring at me at 6 p.m. when it went dark. And one of the messages that it brings is that gratitude brings unity to all creatures. And I've had a deep and long contemplative journey with gratitude in my own life, and many Earth Day gatherings where I've been able to attune and bring groups into this attunement of this theme of gratitude. And as Rosy mentioned, these are, challenging times for many. It can look like, there's so much going on in the world that, needs our attention. We have our own unique wounds that we're tending to. And so life, it's not always easy. And when we speak of gratitude, something I've learned over the time is that authentic gratitude versus forced gratitude, and reactive gratitude versus generative gratitude. That's the theme I wanted to kind of bring to our attention here today, because I think many people are familiar with the health benefits of gratitude. And so that it can just bring a greater sense of peace and connection. And as the cow mentioned, a unity of all beings. And I'm reminded of a story too, when I was working with a group of people down in Los Angeles, and we were stood by a river at the time. And somebody that I was working with at the time, who was very, very engaged in earth projects and had done a lot of work with the land. And she shared a story with me about a group of young people that came out of Los Angeles. They were in the, just a concrete jungle for most of their life. And this bus tour was organized for them such that they could come out to the lands. I think it was the lands around Malibu, where it's very green and fertile at times of the year. I'm sure it's dusty and hot at other times of the year, but they brought them to this place, and these children leapt out and they put their bare feet on the grass, and many of them just wept. They wept in gratitude because they've been living in this concrete jungle their whole time, and they had this deep appreciation for where they were. And for many of us, it's like we can go about our days and about our lives, and we might forget. We might get pulled into the busyness. Things are a lot slower down in Costa Rica, where they have the Pura Vida, and the sloth reminds us to live slow, and definitely bringing some of that, more of that back. The Gene Keys teaches that so well, and the Dream Arc so well, bringing some more of that back as I re-enter the Western world, the Northern Hemisphere tomorrow. And, but just remembering this in these times of challenges, that can we take that moment for a pause, even a simple moment in our day, and maybe a couple of moments throughout our day, because, so often we might reflect reactively through our gratitude, meaning we're grateful when the things that we want to transpire in our world, and we're grateful for it. But the gratitude that we're speaking of here today is more of a generative gratitude. Grail has been mentioned through Richard, and the Kingfisher, the Fisher King. Grail, grace, and gratitude. Those are three of my favorite words, and they all start with that GRA. And so I'm sure there's some etymology to that, a root to that. But this generative, one of my teachers who says, that which is not generative is not the grail. And so this is a gratitude that comes from life. It comes from our inner being. And so in this moment, let's just take a pause. I thought we could take a pause together because, we've got, some of you are familiar with the work of the Global Coherence Project, where we step into this space of coherence within our own being. And one of the ways in which we can do that is gratitude. So we've got however many, I'm sure there's a few hundred beings here right now that can take this moment to turn our attention, even if this is the only time that we can for the next few hours, in this pause, to reflect on some of what we're grateful for. And, this is the wisdom keepers, that throughout the Dream Arc course and the initiation retreats that some of you experienced and will be experiencing in the coming months, we meet these beautiful wisdom keepers who remind us, who reconnect us to the earth. And I'm reminded of the words, this is a bit of paraphrasing of the words of Mbali Murray, one of our wisdom keepers in the Dream Arc, who said something like, we cannot save the earth until we love the earth. And so this practice of love and gratitude for the earth, and not just for the earth, but all the beings and creatures that we meet in our day to day. And so I might invite you in this moment, what are some of the creatures that you're grateful for? I mean, there's so many here right now. The song of the cicadas is in my ears, the monkeys. What are the creatures? It might be your dog. Many of us are blessed to have dogs and cats around the home. When was the last moment we took a pause and just reflected on our gratitude for them? Throughout this world, we meet all kinds of different creatures. Just pausing for a moment, you might just close your eyes. In fact, I invite everybody, just close your eyes. We'll do a little bit of breathing into the gratitude in this moment. So what are the creatures? It could be the insects. It could be fish. It could be lizards, it could be mammals, it could be cetaceans, it could be the kingfisher. I too saw a kingfisher yesterday. It could be the flora, the fauna, the trees. We're going to be meeting all of the elements today, earth, wind, fire, air, and spirit, meeting all of them today. Perhaps we might pause in gratitude, looking out the window where you are right now, at the trees that guard your home, that stand watching over you, of the plants that bring color to the home. Can you experience that sense of gratitude for them in this moment? And as we keep our eyes closed, perhaps in this playful journey, in this playfulness of experiencing this gratitude, we might become aware of some of the people that have been in service to the earth for a long time. As I mentioned, the indigenous people of our planet who have so much to learn from at this time, their wisdom, their connection. and those who bring attention to some of the crises on the planet that need our attention. Perhaps your unique wounds are drawn to particular threads in the world. As we attune more to our gratitude and that sense of gratitude in our own being, then we can attune more to that deep intuitive pull within. So just breathing with that, breathing through that. And the gratitude for the unseen worlds, the higher harmonies, what we call in the world of gene keys, the divine synarchies, the spirit of Gaia itself, the planetary being, perhaps to the God of your own understanding, the spirit of your own understanding, and even the elemental, the Fae, the Devas, all working in unseen ways. So we see much of what's taking place in the world through certain actions, and there's much that goes unseen. So perhaps we can just pause in gratitude for a moment for them. And just feel that gratitude in your heart. Perhaps you might remember to carry that memory of that gratitude and all that you're grateful for into this day. And perhaps it might just allow you to attune to that question that the Kingfisher asked: how may I be of greatest service to Gaia? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosy. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you for bringing all the way from Costa Rica, the cow, the concepts of authentic and generative and unifying gratitude. Thank you for bringing the blessing of the green grass and the invitation to slow down and pause like the sloth, from reminding us about the grail and grace and gratitude, and to pay attention to the creatures in our everyday lives and the unique wisdom bringers of our lives, the unseen worlds, the living being that is the earth. Thank you for all of that. And I also want to say how much Richard and I feel gratitude towards you for all that you do and contribute to the Gene Keys and Dream Arc. And we're looking so much forward to co-hosting the Dream Arc Initiation Retreat with you. And the more I get to know you and work with you and experience you, the more I feel just how deeply you live, breathe, and understand everything that Earth Day is about. So thank you so much, Matthew. Oh my gosh. And now it is one of my greatest pleasures to share the work of a woman who will be calling in and presencing the spirit of water during our time together. Esha Kyokyo is a dear, dear friend of mine, a beloved neighbor who just lives just a couple minutes away in the same co-housing community as I do here in Santa Fe. She's got a background in anthropology and French and sustainable communities, and she also happens to be a deeply inspiring artist, photographer, filmmaker, storyteller, earth-loving and world-traveling explorer. And it's really people like Esha who dedicate their sensitivity, their creativity, and their optimistic realism to projects that motivate us to do exactly what Matthew's talking about, which is to love and protect and care for Mother Earth, because we protect what we love. And she also happens to be one of the nicest, kindest people that I know. And she makes a really good gluten-free chocolate cake. I got to say that, got to slip that in. And we're going to be handing over the screen to Esha, who's going to be sharing the watery aspects of one of her profoundly inspiring and collaborative photograph and film projects called Good Earth, which she will share much more about with you. And Lena, do you want to let Esha share her screen? And welcome, Esha.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome, Rosy. That was very kind, and it's so inspiring to be here with you all today. You're all kind of speaking my language with these words of gratitude and hope, and how we can all do our part to restore and regenerate this beautiful earth that we're on. So I'm going to share a couple of just short videos with you today that speak to these concepts. Being in the desert, the high desert of Santa Fe, our notion of water is a little different than maybe the notion of water you have in Costa Rica, for example, Matthew. And water for us, we're really trying to funnel that water to the ground. So I'm going to share just a little overview video and then a video about changing the way we think about stormwater and how we can really use it to our advantage in these desert environments around the world. So hopefully it'll resonate with some of you who also live in drier regions around the world. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Can you see it there?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. I don't know how much you see, but okay, I think I can play here. So I want that to go fuller. Is it filling your screen, or do you have all the kind of extra stuff around?
We have a little bit of the extra stuff around, or at least
Mhm.
I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to get that bigger, but we'll just go for it. So my name is Esha, and I just realized that we're on the wrong slide. Okay, so my name is Esha, and like I said, I'm going to share a couple of quick videos. So here's the first one.
We are exhausting the capacity of the soils on this planet to provide food for us because we've adopted a conventional approach to agriculture. Is destroying not only the lands that we're farming, but also our environment around us.
Truly regenerating your soil means increasing organic matter to the levels that this soil was found.
The more biologically active your soil is, the more healthy your food is, the more different nutrients and different biological agents that are positive are on that food.
When you get healthy soils, you have healthy plant communities. And that's what we're interested in, is a resilient ecosystem that can withstand the variability that is what the Southwest is.
And what I really think we need to do is start thinking of cities and urban environments as an ecosystem itself, where humans are part of.
I think we're barely scratching the surface of how to be good stewards of the soil.
It is our responsibility to ensure that the future get to see and have what we have right now.
The soil is a living organism. If we can restore that microbial community, we can restore the function of that system.
Okay. And now I'm going to share one more that is really all about water. And this is a man, Reese Baker, who is near and dear to my heart. So we'll see this one, the rain catcher.
Esha, really quick, before you do it, I'm just wondering, I'm not hearing the music track behind the people talking.
Huh.
And I don't know whether, and it's totally fine because we still hear what they're saying and we still have the beautiful photographs, but the music I know does add an element. And I'm wondering if Lena has any suggestions about the way that this is being shared that might enhance the experience for people. Lena, do you have any ideas of something Esha could do?
The way you share it, if you go under advanced and you choose the screen, make sure the audio is clicked on the bottom left.
Okay, let's see.
You'd want to stop sharing and start again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that. So advanced.
We have a lot of experts on the call around sharing. Yeah, we got the timing mixed up, so. Yeah, but thank you we'll give it a shot. If not, it's totally fine, Esha. We're still getting the essence, and we're going to be sharing links to these so people can watch them again if they want. I just thought we could at least give it a shot.
Yeah, I need some instruction of what I'm supposed to do now, because I'm not seeing advanced. I'm not seeing where I'm supposed to go. So
I do have the rain catcher video ready to display if that's the one you wanted to share next.
great. Why don't you display it then? That'd be perfect.
That would be
Okay.
so good. Thank you, Lena.
One of the principles of permaculture is to follow the patterns that we see in nature. All of our urban environments are currently set up to drain water off of the impermeable surfaces as fast as possible. And what that does is takes all of our pollutants and it shoots it into the lower watersheds and pollutes the environment. And what I really think we need to do is start thinking of cities and urban environments as an ecosystem itself, where humans are part of. And we can begin to become regenerative in all of our work instead of degenerative. If I were to look at Santa Fe as an ecosystem, the first thing we would do obviously is think about the water. And right now, 95% of that is running off the surface. If we take 5 billion gallons of water year after year after year, and we capture it, and we infiltrate it into the ground, we could shift the paradigm of stormwater drainage to stormwater infiltration. Then we have the ability to turn cities in the middle of the desert into something that is more lush, more like an oasis, food producing, pollinator and habitat producing for all the animals, for the wildlife, and for humans. Asphalt carries polyaromatic hydrocarbons, which have been proven to be carcinogenic. When they get inserted into a biological system, they start to cause havoc. But if we can move those carcinogens through fungal mycelium, they can secrete into the soil, and they can actually take these chemicals that we're using in our streets, break them down and turn them into sugars, which the plants can incorporate into their structure. And all of a sudden, you've taken a super toxic compound, moved it through a biological system, and is no longer toxic. My house is smack in the middle of the city. We have about 1/4 of an acre. I have access to about 100,000 gallons of water. That's what falls from the sky. So we have set up the entire property so that not one drop of rainwater can possibly leave the site. We've created mulch, terraces. We have a good base of soil that it can soak that water up. We have rainwater catchment off of the roof. And then we have a drip irrigation system that runs off of that rainwater. All the water from our laundry and from our showers, it all goes back out into the landscape. We can grow fruit trees with that. We're growing all kinds of different herbs with that. And then the other cool part is we have a pond and we have a gray water wetlands. Having a little water excess in the desert brings in the most incredible biological diversity. We've got bats and we have hundreds of birds that drink out of it. We have bees and all kinds of different insects that can drink that water. We have dragonflies and damselflies that create their little houses and their habitats right there on the reeds and the cattails. Life wants to be there and life wants to flourish. And if you can set things up with these nucleus points to grow the microbes and the plants, then all of a sudden you get this recirculating system and the nutrients are recycling, the water's being kept, there's shade, there's microclimates. It's a beautiful concept. We are kind of on the forefront of a really big transformation of urban environments. We could literally clean the entire world if we would just have a paradigm shift with what we're doing with our stormwater. One of my big goals is to turn my neighborhood into a pilot project for the entire city of Santa Fe to start to see and start to learn from. I've got all these fungal experiments going on where I'm trying to grow different edible and medicinal mushrooms in the garden in the shady spots. And that has really stimulated probably 10 or so of our neighbors to kind of want to do it as well. Humans could literally be the secret to the restoration of the earth instead of the virus. Right now we're sort of a virus that takes all the resources and we do whatever we want. But if we can become the healer of the earth, That is what we need to be educating the youth to do. And that is basically the only principle that you need to do. Harvest the water, start to grow soil, everything will come from that, especially in the desert.
Oh my gosh, Esha. Thank you so much. What did you want to just say a few words or?
Just thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Every time I see that, I feel so inspired. And you really are weaving in the whole concept of regenerativity into our tapestry and showing these very concrete examples of how people can serve the whole using their own unique gifts. And everybody, I just want you to know there's a whole lot more where that came from. So maybe we can all just take a moment to send our gratitude to the element of water while Lena makes sure that people know how to learn more about Esha and her work. And maybe she can just put the link in the Earth Day celebration page in the comments section.
We have somebody doing that.
Somebody doing that already? Fantastic.
Shannon Lee is doing that in the
Oh,
comments.
thank you, Shannon Lee. Oh, thank you so much. And Esha, I really love the way that you've brought the water element into our space together and how you've just naturally highlighted the essential and interconnected relationship between water and earth, which is the next element that we're going to be calling in and celebrating, Earth. And we've got the most perfect person to do this, Teresa Collins. And I just want to say before she comes on, there are just some people who were born to play a pivotal role in the birthing of sacred evolutionary phenomena. And Teresa is one of those people. She has devoted literally decades of her life to mastering the art of community building, whole systems design. She's co-founded the Global Coherence Pulse, the Islands of Coherence Network. She's played key leadership roles with the Foundation for Conscious Evolution, Wisdom University, Thrive Movement, and the Resident Science Academy. And personally, I see Teresa as a core midwife for the entire Gene Keys community. And I first met her in person and experienced her majestic presence back in 2010 during the first in-person Gene Keys event in the States that I know of in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I will never forget that experience, together with Richard and Marshall Lefferts, who's another amazing human being and author and thinker and martial artist and Dream Arc musical contributor. Teresa just birthed such an authentically and aesthetically beautiful, immersive, and communally enriching experience. And I know I wouldn't be here today had I not participated in that retreat and received her gifts. And one of the reasons why we invited Teresa to join us for this particular celebration is because she hasn't just spent a lifetime nurturing human learning communities, but she's been cultivating profound connections with Gaia herself, whether she's creating prayer spirals in the sand or connecting deeply with the trees. Teresa is pretty much always celebrating Earth Day. So it is a great honor to welcome Teresa's voice and majestic presence into our circle. And I believe you're just going to share your screen.
I'll start by saying hello, and I'm so honored to be celebrating Earth Day with the Gene Keys community. And you know, the Gene Keys community has always been the community of my heart. I don't know if you're trying to find me to focus my thing, but I'll just keep going. So yeah, I really love participating in the Dream Arc too with the prayer spirals. And if some of you have seen my work embodying our treeness, and some people actually call me Teresa, and that's because of my natural affinity with trees. They've really been my greatest teacher on the planet, and they remind me about why we're here, like what our role is. And that's to be a conduit, a living conduit for bringing heaven to earth. So I want to start by having us all feel the bottom of our feet, opening our awareness receptors in our feet, and feeling our connection to the earth, our shared home, our precious, magnificent Mother Earth. We are her offspring. We are her stewards. And all too often, we have been her destroyer. And the tendency towards this destructive behavior comes from our traumas, from our wound. And I was really inspired today from the message of the Kingfisher that was on the website. And I want to invite us to be courageous today. I want to invite us to be warriors of love. I love that in the video. And attend to the healings of our heart. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to bring up an image of the earth and I'm going to invite us on a little journey together. So one of the ways that we can serve the earth today is to open ourselves to her, to lift the veil of our ignorance that is at the root of our trauma. Our feeling of separation from her and the life force that flows through and connects everything. We are her offering. We are her stewards. And she's calling us home. The earth has the capacity to regenerate herself. And she's proven it over and over again through ice ages, floods, droughts, meteor strikes, and so much more. We got to see it firsthand during COVID, the months that we were asked to stay home. We saw in just a short period of time, the earth begin to regenerate herself in an unprecedented way. She can heal given the chance. And she wants us to heal with her before it's too late for us. We have the capacity to regenerate our ecosystems, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. We have that capacity when we open our hearts to life and join in partnership with life itself. Life has been navigating these shifts of consciousness, these quantum leaps for billions of years. And life knows how to move through this precarious and potentiated moment. And they do so by aligning with the momentum of the shift that's occurring, letting go of all that's falling away, and becoming the new that's emerging by responding to the flow of the momentum. So in these few minutes that we have today, on Earth Day, in the safety of this sacred community container, we can come into coherence with our mother's breath and heartbeat and begin to relax the constriction around our hearts so that we can open to life, that we can move with the rhythms of life and allow the magnificence that's meant to emerge from inside us and all around us to come shining through. So I invite us again to feel the bottom of our feet. And begin to bring your awareness down into this connection with the earth. And send a signal through the bottom of your feet down into the earth. And send a message that you're ready to let go more fully and open your heart to life. Let us be courageous together. When we join our hearts, we're capable of more. Our impact is greater than the sum of our parts. So let us today be courageous and open. Imagine all of our feet positioned all in different places, sending this same intention, amplifying the signal. Now, I want you to imagine that you're lying in the arms of our Earth Mother, safe and warm, held with the utmost presence and care. Tune into your own heartbeat and your breath. Making it just a little longer and a little slower than usual. And feel yourself with every breath relaxing more fully into the arms of our mother. And allow a generative emotion, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, love, whatever, to rise in your heart. As you relax, imagine that you can hear your mother's heartbeat and breath. And the more you relax, the more your breath and heartbeat aligns with her breath and heartbeat. When we're in a state of coherence, individually and collectively, we are naturally in alignment with the rhythms of the earth and through her, the cosmos. Allow yourself to fully rest here. Now, as you rest in the arms of our mother, in the company of this community, place your part of the sacred wound of humanity on the altar of our shared heart and invite the restorative nature of life to envelop this wound and transform it into a gift. a gift you'll carry into the new world that is naturally emerging as we lay down our hurts and open our hearts and become a generative cell in the body of the new world that is emerging. Now imagine yourself giving our mother a big hug and making a vow to stay connected, aligned, and open in the face of whatever we're facing together. And then return your awareness to the bottom of your feet and send your love down like the roots of a big, tall tree. Feel our many feet sending love into the earth together, amplifying our impact. In heart-centered coherence, our impact is exponentially greater than the sum of our parts. So let's send a wave of love around our circle in appreciation and gratitude, because it is together as a humanity in resonance with Mother Earth and all of life that we can make it through. And lastly, like a tree now, stretch your limbs and open up, allowing the light of the sun and the heavens to move down, enlivening every cell of your body, activating this gift on the other side of the release. And vowing to take your role of being a conduit of heaven on earth. Thank you for opening your heart tenderly today. We can trust that life's got this. And it's time to let go into the current and be a brilliant and bright and loving and joyful partner in this great change. Thank you. Bless you. Bless us. Bless the earth. Bless all that is emerging. And so it is. Thank you, Rosy.
Thank you, Teresa.
Love you so much.
Oh my gosh, we all love you so much too. You're always with us, no matter what. And thank you so much for presencing and blessing Mama Earth in a way that really helps us align with the shifts that are occurring. That can be scary sometimes. This is what you bring. You bring trust and the capacity to flow with the momentum of change with coherence and courage. So let's just all take a moment to send our gratitude to Teresa and to the earth while we relax our hearts and open to life and its rhythms and trust that we're safe in our earth mama's arms. And I'm just going to keep moving because we want to make sure that everybody who's here gets to express their beautiful, beautiful presentations. Okay, so, all right, so now we've called in water, we've presenced the earth, and now it's time to call in the element of fire. I can think of no one more qualified to bring this powerful energy into the circle than Maureen Momo Freehill. Momo is one of those highly unusual people who has an exceedingly sharp intellect, like she speaks and writes and thinks with such clarity and analysis and attention to detail, and who was absolutely wild. So when you place Momo's body or her being in nature, she instantly becomes this living, dancing, forever morphing fairy flame of creative communion. She's a truly magnificent shapeshifter who's mastered the art of surrendering the body to Gaia herself. But not just that, you know, she's also a natural teacher and guide who's so safe inside of her own skin that she just can't help but create safe spaces where other people who maybe don't feel quite so comfortable can find courage to really inhabit their bodies and connect with the natural world and stretch themselves beyond ways that they ever knew was possible. So Momo, it is with great joy that we invite you to bring in the fire.
Whew. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Teresa. Oh my, I was weeping and resting, and wow. Yeah, I was very inhabited by the earth. Yeah, it's so beautiful to be here today. And thank you, everyone who's ignited sparks thus far, and I'm ready to share some more. Yeah, so I am fresh out of 10 intensive days with our 15th annual EAT, the Embodied Arts Training with Nature Moves. And basically we go onto the land and we dive deep, exploring with the intermodal arts and the contemplative life while living totally immersed in the landscape of nature. And this year there was a call that to arrive, and 22 courageous beings joined together for this 10-day ceremony, and it was called Erotic Landscapes of the New Human Animal. So we all allowed ourselves, as Rosie so beautifully said, to be animated, to allow that life force to animate us through animal bodies, through nature body. And the first few days were very warm and dry. And so we were out on our sites and it was quite easy. And then suddenly a huge snowstorm hit. We're here in Colorado. And so it was challenging. I mean, we were certainly longing for the warmth and nourishment of the solar and hearth fires of life. And we still, kept going out there in these different weathers, and then found so much gift and beauty there. So today I'm going to share a video of that, and then we're going to have a live ceremony with a living fire here with two of the cohorts that were in that ceremony for the last week at our fire altar, which we'll be showing you in a moment. We worked on it and created it this morning for everyone. So our intention is to really ignite the love and this sense of tending this living flame of earth, and invoking that we all remember this communion that we each have and we all have with the elements and with all the creatures, seen and unseen. So why don't we go ahead and play that video? It's just hot off yesterday. We all did it yesterday. So thank you. Thank you for receiving that. Yeah, so for many years, I lived in Japan with my Buto dance teacher, Kazuo Ono. And one of his sayings that he often shared with us was, to see is to eat. And as we embody and listen so deeply and are with nature, it's like we are deeply nourished. And then after many times of embodying that, I noticed that to be seen is to be food, to allow ourselves to be seen and to offer into this creation and with one another and the earth is to be food. And it's food for the living and food for the ancestors and food for the generations to come. And so this morning, as I was saying, my cohorts and I, we created this altar, and we're going to now feed the fire. So I'd like us to open that camera if we can do that currently. So we'll see both me and them, and they'll be at the fire, feeding the fire. And we will also ignite our voices and our bodies. Lena, is that possible to bring them on as well as like a second view?
They have to put the video on.
Okay, put your video on, my dear ones, my friends. I don't know if they don't have it on. Anyway, maybe they, let's see. Anyway, I'll continue and we'll go out there in a moment. I'm going to sing a song that's about our mutual love and gratitude around this flame and the shared spark of our celebration. So I'd invite you to include your breath and your pulse and your voice into this. Even though we won't audio hear you or see you, it doesn't really matter, because those energies and those pulses and rhythms will go in and out and all through the life. And the invitation is to perhaps do something kind of vigorous, like shaking or tapping your body or deep breathing or something almost alive, like a flame. And I'm going to head out there and see if I can open that camera and open that gateway, that portal to the fire. And as I do, I just invite you to remember, and the invocation is that we remember and listen and see the presence of our earth kin, and that we in turn are heard, and knowing that we are in turn heard and seen by all of our relations, all of our earthly relations, so that we might all heal and we might all dance and sing and celebrate together in ways that will recalibrate and retune and become this human kindness that we are each and all designed to be. So I'm going to leave you with my altar here, and I'll be out there in a second. I need to turn on the camera.
Momo, if you turn on the audio, that'll have to come on if you want to see them.
We're really getting a live fire ceremony.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're both on.
Okay, please mute me, and then I'll disappear the other one. All right, here we are.
You do not carry it all alone. You do not carry it all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on. You do not carry this all alone. So everyone allowing yourself to move and be moved by the flame of your own life force, and then feeding that back into the fire of creation.
Hey, Momo, if you hear me, will you stand closer to the mic so we can hear you? When you move
Yeah.
closer, we can't hear you. Thank you.
Do you want to, is the other one off? Okay.
We hear you fine right now when you're close to the computer.
Okay. So I'm just inviting us to see the flame and feel the flame, and then allowing that to ignite your own life force, your own inner flame. The flame that has you move, that has you voice, that has you live and express and expand and explore through your life. And that can happen right now. This action, whatever it is that needs to happen through your form to animate it, to awaken it, can happen right here and now with your kin, with our beloved friends like Mark and Boo, my friends Boo and Mark, who are here feeding this flame. And you're there feeding your flame, and we're together. Yeah, it's never what we expect. It's never what we think it's going to be. You know, there's always going to be something new and fresh. And it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be easy. So we support one another. And I'm going to sing this song. I don't know if you can hear me or if this is technically working, but go ahead and dance and breathe however you want and sing with me. You do not carry this all alone. You do not ignite this all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone. You do not feed this all alone. You do not carry this all alone. This is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone. Thank you. We're going to continue to dance and play and feel this fire, and invite you to do the same in your own home, hearth, and heart. Thank you very much for the invitation to celebrate with you today. I will. It's already done. It's done. It's
Thank
done.
you so much. Thank you
Done.
so much.
I can't do it. Okay.
You got to go on mute, loves. So thank you, Momo, and the fire keepers and all the wonderful people that you've been dancing and praying with. And thank you for blessing our gathering with the spirit of fire in such an alive and permission-giving way. Let's all send a flame of gratitude to Momo and the fire and keep the fire going as we continue. We might go over just a little bit on time, so we'll be trying to move things along. We want to make sure you get to experience all of our contributors. So now let's see, we've called in water, we've called in earth, we've called in fire. What's next? The spirit of air. And I am so excited about the way we're going to be calling air in. We're inviting two amazing women musicians, sound magicians, Shay and Starbird Miracle, who are in two parts of the country, and they're going to be weaving their voices together through the airwaves in different ways, kind of like flutes in the wind, or voices dancing through time and space, calling and responding through their unique expressions. So I have so much that I wanted to share with you about them, but I would rather you hear them than hear me talking about them. So Starbird and Shay, we welcome you with all of our hearts. And I believe, Shay, you are going to initiate the exchange. So, Lena, I think we want to get Shay sharing her screen. I can see, and maybe Elizabeth can also turn her her video off. Thank you. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Rosie. It feels really good to be here. Not many words. I feel like my work and my music is on behalf of the earth. And even as I say that, I just have, all of a sudden, my capacity increases. It's like making myself available for the earth and what wants to flow through. Right, so we're going to share just a couple little audio clips from both of us, and then we're going to sing a little bit, and then we're going to close with this little video that I got to sing with Starbird. It was 4 years ago, which I forgot, at this beautiful little creek in Santa Fe. Yeah, so I've been working on this project called Lullabies for the Earth. It's been about 7 years. This track you're going to hear with the crickets, I just recorded a couple weeks ago. So you can go ahead and play it. So beautiful. Thank you. Starbird. Thank you, Shay. That is so beautiful and fresh, and I couldn't stop moving in my body. So the air, right? The element of air, the voice, and it's connected to the heart and the breath of the heart and love for our planet. So for me, what has been really alive is reconnecting and being kind of a bridge, between the stars and the earth, and the voice of the stars and the voice of the earth. And when I saw Esha's video earlier, There was someone with the t-shirt, I pledge alliance to the earth, and I feel like that's why I'm really attempting to do in this year is to renew my vows with the voice. So this excerpt is from a project with Michael Miracle, my husband, that has been in the works for a while. And we are under Luna Vision as the project title. Yes, little bit of light language, star language, earth language, and yeah, that's it. Thank you. They shadow ain't gon' lam aim by the bean chumbara a o a Shunarab in a garumba I on chikere a lama o a Rumbara en kurrishanai o ai una ita kai un tishi sibarabam o e tama e kurumi a amore la eyo o ai tarina o ai o e ore tarina So lovely to hear, Starbird. So we're just going to do a little call and response through the air waves. Yeah, I just love this woman. I have so much fun with her. And yes, and my life's work is the 27. My birthday's tomorrow, and she has 27 in the purpose. And yeah, we'll just go into sound. All right, you ready to play? Just a tiny bit?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Romaraya rarai, o mare jinganaye, o my rai, ramarai, rai, mrai rai 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 ranai. Amaraka enchayam bairai, unai tari tari nai, ai arai, ai innocent ek, ani anumai sundet. Amareru suramotei ri
Hey, hi, 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 hee, 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 hee.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. I have an idea, and I hope you're open to it, just because I'm realizing we're coming to the end of our time, and I want to make sure that the people who decided to be here for just the hour and a half get to experience Samson. That maybe we move on to Samson, and then at the end we close with the beautiful video of the two of you by the river. Does that sound okay with you? Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's just all take a moment and put our hands on our hearts and bellies and send a deep, appreciative wave of energy, or maybe even a hum, in these two amazing women's direction, and some focused gratitude and love to the element of air. And happy birthday, Shay. Okay, so we've called in the water, the earth, the fire, and the air, and now it's time to call in the final element for our gathering spirit. Cannot think of anyone who embodies spirit, whether it's the spirit of resilience, the spirit of compassion, of universal love, or the spirit of Gaia herself, more than our dear brother, friend, and collaborator, Samson Turanawe of Uganda. Some of you may already know Samson as one of the DreamArc's wisdom keepers. Others maybe encountered him through his leadership role in the Universal Love Curriculum, which is a super exciting Gene Keys and DreamArc Syntropy project that we're doing together with our Ugandan collaborators. And Shannon Lee, if you want to put a little link to the Generosity and Great Change event in so that people want to learn about it, they can. I'm moving through really quickly because I could literally talk for hours about Samson and how deeply I love him and all that he and the organization Universal Love Alliance does. But since we've gathered together in honor of Earth Day, we thought we would ask Samson to share about one of ULA's amazing projects in rural Western Uganda called Harmony Gardens. And so we've clipped together a short video for everyone to watch, and we hope that you feel as inspired by this project as we do. And then we'll be bringing our time together to a close. Okay. So Lena, there you go.
Gardens. This is a project that Universal Love Alliance initiated. And the reason for initiating this project and call it Harmony Gardens was based on earth, on soil, on environment. And why did we call it Harmony Garden? We looked at how the earth provides for us. Of course, if I may talk briefly about earth, when we talk of earth, what is earth? What is the understanding of earth in the context of Universal Love Alliance and Harmony Gardens? Of course, we look at earth as femininity, nature, growth, new life, gentle power, and wisdom. And actually, I think some writers, or maybe in some communities, they go to a point of calling us Mother Earth, or the Earth Mother. And in the context of Harmony Gardens, the Earth provides for all of us, regardless of our background, regardless of our geographical locations, regardless of our political views, regardless of our skin color. Earth still provides for us equally. It gives us food, it gives us water, it gives us building materials, it gives us air, because it is us that supports these plants to grow and provide us with oxygen. And with Harmony Gardens, we were like, let's give back to Earth. And how are we going to do it? One, as human activity have increased and put pressure on land and us in general. So we were like, let's promote harmony between human beings and earth. In the first place, we are not going to use artificial chemicals in these gardens. We are going to do organic farming, whereby all living organisms, they are going to survive. So we're kind of giving back to the earth by getting manure that is organically made and put it back to earth and support plants. These are flowers, these are vegetables, these are foods that are going to grow organically. So we were trying to avert the conflict between human beings and earth, because every time you apply chemicals in the soil, you are creating a conflict between human beings and earth, because as you apply these chemicals, they are certainly living organisms, microscopic organisms, which are very useful to earth, to plants, to environment, that you kill, and the earth will be crying. So we have to create this harmony by use of organic, holistic methods. Then we found out that all of us share in common, whether small or big, rich or poor, and this is eating. We all eat. We all need food. And now we brought young people together and elders, poor, rich, vulnerable, and non-vulnerable, and we brought them together to work on this harmony garden. Because at the end of the day, we eat, and food that is grown in this harmony garden is shared among the community. And when it comes time for food, or when it comes time for eating, food does not ask, are you black? Are you white? Are you short? Are you tall? No, it's time for eating. And our Mother Earth will give us this food equally. So in this, we educate people justice, equality, respect, empathy, and sharing the gift of Mother Earth. Because as we grow food in this harmony garden, and then we share this food with the community, we are sharing the gift that Mother Earth, that Gaia has lovely provided to us.
Thank you so much, Samson. Oh my gosh. Richard, were you going to come on?
Hi, Rosie. Hi, everyone. Yes, that
Love
was
you.
great. So it's a good time to wrap up because it's been so full and amazing. Do you want any last words from you, Rosie?
Oh, well, I just want to thank everybody and Samson, who's here live with us today, and everyone at ULA and the communities you serve. We're just so inspired. So thank you to Spirit. Thank you to Universal Love. And I'm thinking, Richard, maybe you can just kind of bring us to a close. And then when you're done, we can just, for those who can stay, we can share that final video with Shay and Starbird, which I have a feeling people are going to really love. It's just like 2 minutes long. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone who's participated in this extraordinary event here, celebrating the earth with the elements and bringing our blessings. And I love those final words and that chuckle from Samson, and just seeing those images from Uganda were very moving, particularly with the children and the youngsters, and really that's what celebrations like today, I think, around the world are really about. Obviously, they're about the children, and what we're leaving behind us. And I know that most of us here listening to this have heard it all before. And if you've made it this long through the 90 minutes or so, you've heard it all before, probably. And there's a lot of worry, probably, and hope, hopefully, at the same time that you have. And we at Gene Keys and in the Dream Arc community, because this is particularly a Dream Arc based event, we are exploring, consciousness through the right brain, and through this also bringing the art of contemplation into action, and particularly into activism. Because it's nice to kind of say nice things and think nice thoughts and kind of improve ourselves, self-improvement, but then we also have to apply that out into the earth herself, and that's what this is really about. That's what really, when you get down to it, that's what the Dream Arc is really about: getting out from behind our screens into the landscape and working with animals, creatures, birds, the earth, and the elements, and to remind us of what's really the essence of prospering in the world, in this life. What it means to prosper is to be out in nature, pretty much, and harmonizing with nature. So I hope that you, if you're watching this, that you will spend some time this week really kind of thinking about those things and being out in nature. And final little kind of pitch from me is we are offering a Dream Arc retreat soon. We're going to be launching in, I can't tell you the time because I've forgotten, but it's
July 15th.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't hold these things in my memory. So in honor of this event, and if you made it through this 90 minutes and you're still here, or you're watching this remotely, we are doing a kind of early bird price if you want to kind of get on board. It's for newcomers. If you don't know anything about the Dream Arc and you're interested in finding out more, there's lots to find out. You can look into it and see what it's all about. But I think you get a 20% discount if you sign up in the next couple of weeks. That's running early bird discount anyway. So it's nice to kind of have a few little perks, and I hope that lots of people will come on that retreat. It's going to be a 3-month retreat, online retreat that kind of initiates us as a group into the Dream Arc teachings. And some of you may have done the last one as well, which we did last year, and you're also welcome back. And we hope to have as many people as possible to reinitiate our journey into these magical teachings we call the Dream Arc. And I think that's it from me. And I just, one more thing, just to thank you all again. Thank all the contributors, amazing contributors here today, and thank the Earth herself and all the creatures that populate this planet, and our tech hosts and all the people behind the scenes. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And also for all of you who've been here watching this, thank you for giving up your valuable time to be with us. And thank you, Rosy, especially and Matthew and the Dream Arc team for initiating this event today.
Thank you. Big shout out to Matthew. You want to put your beautiful face up, Matthew, so we can look at you? You coordinated the whole thing. From Costa Rica with the monkeys and the sloths. So maybe we can just bring this time to a close with that beautiful video of Shay and Starbird by the river, and may it nurture our souls, and just let's go on and keep loving the earth, our home, and each other. Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Shay and Starbird and everybody, all the panelists. You want to just come on for 2 seconds and just wave goodbye? And then we'll close the call together, just so everyone can see your beautiful faces.
Love you all.
Oh, love you too.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Samson.
Thank you too. Thank you all so much.
We have a video.
It was powerful.
Wonderful. Do we need to have our audios on to be visible or no?
No, just the camera on.
Okay.
Oh, I'm trying. I can't.
I can't either.
I can't either. It tells me no.
Your voice is fine. Your voice is fine. Say goodbye. We love you.
Blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Ciao. Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay.